Everyone, it's Samia. Right now I'm going to be doing a book review for the book The Edge of Never by J.A. Redmerski. So I just finished this book not too long ago, like yesterday, but by the time you're watching it, it's probably a long time in the past. Wait, that made no sense. Oh god. But anyways, this book I gave 5 stars to start off with. Let's just start off with that. I absolutely love this book. It was amazing. And yeah, so this book follows Cameron. She really is just in this rut in her life and she wants to change it up and she wants more adventure and she wants something different. And so she decides she is going to pack up some stuff, get on a Greyhound bus, and leave. She doesn't know where, and she ends up, going somewhere. She doesn't exactly know where. She's just going to go. And along the way, she meets Andrew. And Andrew is on this bus to, go visit some family. He has some family stuff going on. And he meets her. And first of all, let me just say, Cameron is so witty and so, sassy that it totally, was awesome. I loved it. And Andrew is this, he comes off as this very shy, not very shy, I shouldn't say that. He was quiet in the beginning. They, sat by each other on the bus. They ended up to start talking. Things happen, and they decide that they are going to, take a road trip. She helps him with his struggles as much as she can, and they decide that they're going to road trip because she doesn't really have anywhere to go. She just wants to go somewhere, and he doesn't mind that either. And so they decide that they're going to take a little road trip around the country a little bit, go to a few different states, and just live life. And he brings her out of her shell so much. He brings her out of her comfort zone and makes her do things that she would never think that she would ever do. And she just lives her life, and she has so much fun, and Andrew brings out such this good side of her and just really awakens this different side of her. And at the same time, he is so caring for her and so sweet and really just says it like it is and tells her, hey, if you're feeling this way, that's okay. You're allowed to feel that way, and you are allowed to have feelings and have this emotion, and you're allowed to cry, and you are allowed to feel that way. And he just makes her feel so loved and accepted and okay. And he embraces everything that she's going through and helps her, and she helps him at the same time, because at the same time he's going through stuff that is very difficult, and they just are helping each other live and living life on the edge and enjoying things, and they just are having so much fun. But of course there's more to Andrew, and he has some secrets, and they kind of have to see how his secret will affect them. And this book had me on a emotional roller coaster, okay? It was so fun and so I don't know the right words. It was so fun and so I was able to enjoy this book so much. But at the same time, there were moments like this. And like this. And let's not forget this one. So, the clips that I just inserted are of me absolutely bawling my eyes out, and this is near the end and where things start really picking up, and I was sobbing like a baby, and it is very, very ugly. Very ugly. I can't believe I'm going to put this on the internet. But this book was just, oh my gosh, it was so good. And oh my gosh, so good. So sad. So sad, as you could tell from my sobs. But it was just an amazing story, and I absolutely loved it. And I'm so happy that I randomly picked this book up, because it was just amazing. So, I don't know what else to say. I'm going to go into a little bit of a spoiler section now. I'm not going to talk too much about spoilers. there is only a few parts that I really want to mention. And yeah, so let me know if you want to read this book or have read it or anything like that. I would love to talk to you guys in the comments. I think it would be so fun. But yeah, I think that's it. I'm going to go ahead and jump into the spoiler section. So if you don't want to know what happens at the end, don't keep watching, because I'm going to totally just talk about the ending. So yeah, I'll see you guys in my next one. So if anyone has read this book, maybe you're watching this and you haven't read the end and you don't really care about this book and you just want to know, I'm going to tell you what happens, because the last like 20 pages are just like, I couldn't do it. As you can see from the videos that I inserted earlier, I might insert a few more clips of that because I recorded my whole ending reading process because I knew that I was sad. I'm like, this would make for a fun part in my video. Let me just include it. And so I did. But the ending, and we find out about Andrew and his struggle that he's been running from. And the whole time I was reading it, I'm like, what is he keeping from her? Is he like a hitman that has come to find her and kill her, or what? Because I just couldn't figure it out. And I totally didn't even click, you know, about him being sick. And it ends up he has a brain tumor, and he has decided to not do surgery, and he decided to just go on this road trip with her and not tell her about it, even though they're totally in love with each other. And, you know, just live life. And I thought that was cute. But at the same time, I was so mad because I could not let him die. I couldn't. No, that was not going to happen. I was way too emotional for that. And I'm just going to talk now about the ending where, you know, he writes her... Okay, so he's in the hospital and she has to leave because he has to go take tests. And so he goes off, and then she goes and meets Natalie and is having, you know, some food, and then they come back and she runs into, I want to say it was Asher and his mom, and she can just tell that he didn't make it, and it was so emotional and so sad. I was sobbing. And then she starts reading his letter that he wrote to her, because his mom gave Cameron a letter that he wrote, and that's when I started recording. And if I insert any more clips, they'll be here. But I was so emotional. I was so upset that it was leading us to believe that he was dead. And oh my gosh, I was just crying. And then the part where it goes 2 months later and she's at the cemetery, I was like, I can't do it. My lip was like quivering. I just like, I couldn't. I was crying. And thinking about it now, it makes me like, I can't. And when I watch the video of me reading and me sobbing, I cry, like tears, cry every time I rewatch it, because I think it's kind of funny to watch my facial expressions at times, but I was just so emotional. And the part where, you know, the tombstone says Parrish, which is his last name, and I was like, no, he can't die. Why does he have to die? Until he puts his arms around her, and it turns out they're at his father's cemetery. And I'm like, I'm gonna insert the clip here where I realized that he was still alive, and I was sobbing for nothing. So once I came to realization, I had to read it like 3 times, because I was like, wait, is he really alive? I was so happy that he was still alive that my heart was like pounding so fast. I had to take a break. I had to take a moment. I had to take a breather. I just couldn't do it. I just couldn't. So, oh my gosh, I'm about to start the second book, and I didn't mention anything about a second book in the non-spoilers part because I feel like it totally would have been a spoiler. But I mean, if you look into it, you can see that there's 2 books. But at the end, when I thought he died, I was like, what's the second book about? Like, what, does she fall in love with his brother? And I'm like, ugh. I was just so upset that I was on this road to believe that he was dead. It was so sad, because I was like, no, I'm not ready for a not a happy ending. Like, I wanted a happy ending so bad. And so I'm happy that I got it, and I cannot wait to jump into the second one. I do have a really strong feeling that I know what the second one is going to be about, because it's about them. We find out in the end, you know, she's pregnant and all this stuff. And the second one talks about, like, I have it here. You know, she's never been happier. 5 months after meeting on a Greyhound bus, she and her soulmate Andrew Parrish are engaged, and a wedding isn't the only special event in their future. Nervous but excited, Cameron can't wait to begin the rest of their life with Andrew, a man she knows in her heart will love her always. They have so much to look forward to until tragedy blindsides them. Andrew doesn't understand how this could happen to them. He's trying to move on and thought Cameron was doing the same, but when Andrew discovers Cameron is secretly harboring a mountain of pain and attempting to numb it in damaging ways, there is nothing he won't do to bring her back to life. Determined to prove that their love can survive anything, Andrew decides to take Cameron on a new journey filled with hope and passion, and if he can convince her to come along for the ride. So, that's the book here. I actually haven't even started it yet. I just put the bookmark in, like, the first thing so I could start it. I just didn't have any energy after finishing this one. I was so emotionally drained, I just couldn't do it. But I have a feeling that I know what this is going to be about, and I'm sure you do too, just from reading the back. But I'm just really excited to read more about them because I love them. They were so awesome. I loved it. I love their relationship. He was so protective of her. I don't know if I mentioned that in the non-spoiler section. If I didn't, I'll just mention it now and then. I'll just put this clip over there too. But he was so protective of her and so caring and so sweet and so generous and just this heartwarming, amazing man. And he was just amazing and so protective. I loved that. I loved that. There is just something about a book where the male is just protective and caring, and makes me happy. Makes me so happy. So I'm excited to get into the second one. I would love to hear your guys' thoughts. Please don't spoil anything for me about the second one. But, I mean, I guess by the time that this video goes up, I probably already read the second one. But make sure to leave some, comments down below. I'd love to talk to you guys about this book if you've read it. If you haven't, anything like that. But, yeah, I just love to talk to you guys, and I'm really excited. So, yeah, I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.